In this video, I will show you on this L slipper how we did the back seam and the top seam for the slipper. Here is the slipper crocheted and ready to seam the back. And I ended this last row with one chain stitch. So now you'll want to turn it inside out and then what I'm going to do is pick up the inner stitches, or on this side it would be the top loop, and on this side it would be the bottom loop, just the loops that are on the inside. So here is the top loop on the edge, and here is the bottom loop on this edge, and then you'll just work a slip stitch. So here we're picking up the top loop, get this yarn out of the way so you can see, and now on the next stitch we're picking up the bottom loop and just pulling that all through with a slip stitch. You want to make sure you kind of loosen that up so these slip stitches don't get too tight, because slip stitches sometimes do, and then it will make it pucker. We'll just do a couple more. Loosen that up. There, and I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12 slip stitches that you'll be working down the edge back. This is the back heel of the slipper. Okay, now I'm down to the base, the bottom of it. I'm going to pick up the loops and just do one more, and I think that just comes to 11 on mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stitches. Maybe I'll just slip an extra one down there in the very bottom end. Down there at the very end, it probably doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to cut, pull that through, and I'll weave that in later. I like to weave in all of mine when I'm all done with the slipper and do them all at once. Some people prefer to do them as you go, so it's not such a chore at the end. So you can do it that either way, which it's really easy on this seam to just loop them through each one of these, a few of them. So I guess I am not leaving it to the end. I like to do about 4 before I cut the yarn flush. Okay, so there we go. Okie dokie. Yep, I just said okie dokie. Now we've got the slipper, the right side is out, and we're going to sew up this spiral up to this high point of the arch right there. And this yarn tail where we started this slipper, I'm just going to tuck to the inside. So now this is the inside, this is the outside. I'm going to fold the yarn tail in, fold that spiral, get my hook. Actually, let's unfold it for a minute. So here's where the foundation chain of 4 stitches is at, and I'm going to pick up this edge. This is really kind of guesswork, and then the other side, as far as hemming or sewing up these what I call raw rough edges of crochet. And now get this all untwisted. I'm going to be doing a single crochet all along this seam. So I have actually right now, counting this starting loop, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull it through those 4 that I picked up on the edges, and then yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. Okay, we have one done. Now I'm just going to go along about a 1/3 to a 1/2 inch apart, picking up along the edges. I think I got more yarn loops on that than maybe I needed. And I'm going to pull this a little bit taut or tight because it helps make the little spiral toe curl better. And when we get down here a ways, then we'll see where we are as far as matching up one side of the slipper. Oh dear, I'm going to have to yarn hook that in. I wanted that tail to be inside so I didn't have to do that later. Snuck out. Oh no, this is the yarn tail, which I should have. Okay, this is the yarn tail that we started with. The other yarn tail is on the inside. Should have tucked, I coulda, shoulda, woulda tucked that inside too. But it'll be easy enough to pull inside the toe later on. Okay, I'll pause this and work down a little farther. I want to make sure they aren't going to be lopsided or skiwampus. Just kind of follow the row around. So it's right there, and then it's right there. That row lines up on both sides. So it's pretty right on, but you do want to check. You do want to check that once in a while as you're working up to this top point arch, and that's where I'll stop. So I'm going to crochet, single crochet up to there while I'm just checking and making sure this row on that side is matching up to the other side. I'm at the top of the arch now. Look how cute that spiral is. That's what makes these elf slippers so adorable. Now I'm going to go around this side because it's naturally where you'd want to work, what's closest to you, with a continued single crochet all the way around. And again, it's just on these rough edges. Just kind of pick up wherever looks good. I average about maybe roughly approximately 4 single crochets per inch, so every 4th inch, something like that. So all I can say is do your best. Sometimes there's a real easy place to put your hook, but like here's an example. I don't want to put it in there because that will create a real big hole. So I'm going to kind of go on the inside of the yarn blob there. Same with this one. So good luck with your guest stitch, and I will continue around and then we'll start this again when I get back to the beginning. Okay, I was just kidding. I'm not all the way around, but I did want to make a point before you get all the way around that the more single crochets you put around this foot opening, that makes the cuff a little bit wider. So if you have less single crochets around the foot opening, this cuff is going to be a little narrower or tighter. So that's kind of a preference. If you want this more slouchy and open, then work more single crochets in there. But if you want it tight, then space them a little farther apart, like maybe 1/3 of an inch. Okay, I'm still not back up to the beginning spot along this edge, because there's another thing I wanted to suggest, and that is count how many single crochets you do on the opening to this back of the heel, and then try and get the same amount on this side from the back of the heel back to the arch. When you are working the second slipper, you'll just want to make sure that you have the same amount of single crochets around this foot opening as you did in the first slipper, so that the cuff width will be the same. Now, finally, I'm back up to the arch, and I'm going to do a slip stitch in the last single crochet that I did connecting these two sides, not the first single crochet that I did along this raw edge of the foot opening, but the last one that I did connecting the top arch edges, which is right here. Oops, slipped through. And I'm just going to pull that through. Now, I just want to thank you for watching this Myth and Yarn video, and I hope it's been helpful. If you have a better way or a system that you like for crocheting these a little bit tricky or just not neat and orderly rough edges, go for it. If you would like to see more of the Myth and Yarn pattern helps, click on the red subscribe button below, and in the description box you can find a link. I sell my crochet patterns on Etsy, and there will be a link in the description box below also to find the pattern. Have a great day.